Stampers, welcome to the craft room and another episode of Card Play. In this episode I'd like to show you how you can use your Framelits Labels Collection to create some really great decorative edges on your cardstock. So let's get started. We're going to be using our Framelits Labels Collections die, and they come with 6 separate sized dies in the pack. And we're going to work with this third smallest die right now. And we're going to be working on this piece of crumb cake cardstock. And this piece of crumb cake cardstock is 3 inches by 4 inches. Now if we placed our framelit down like this and ran it through the Big Shot, we'd obviously get a really nice edge up here, but we'd also end up cutting through the cardstock down here, and we don't want to do that. So we're actually going to take our cardstock and we're going to come from the back side of this framelit, and just note that the cutting edge, the ridge edge, is facing down, the smooth side is facing up. So we're going to come in from the back of that framelit, and we're just going to slide our cardstock down until we have the edge exactly where we want it in terms of where we want our cut to be. So let's get the Big Shot and let me show you how we're going to roll this through. So to make our cutting sandwich for our Big Shot, we're going to use our multi-purpose platform, and it's fully closed, so we're going to put that down first. Next we're going to place an acrylic cutting pad. Next we're going to put down our cardstock with our framelit. And what's going to go on top as our last layer is this last acrylic pad. Now if I ran this through the Big Shot all the way, we would get a cut on the top side of this piece of cardstock, but we would also get an indentation down here on the bottom from where that die is sitting underneath the cardstock. And that's fine if the look you're going for is to have an indentation, or if you're going to be covering that up with another piece of cardstock or designer series paper or a ribbon. But for our purposes, I want to show you how you can run this through without getting any kind of indentation from the bottom part of the die. We're actually not going to roll this through the Big Shot totally. So let me place our top cutting pad on top. So we're going to start to roll this through the Big Shot, and I'm paying attention to 2 things. One, I'm paying attention to the amount of tension that I'm feeling in my right hand as I'm cranking this through. I'm also paying attention to where I see my cardstock and the die, because I don't want to go so far that I'm putting pressure on the bottom side of that die. So once I feel that tension and feel like I've gone far enough, I'm actually going to go in reverse, and you're going to hear a click as I back out of the Big Shot. And that click lets me know that I've come over that die. So if we remove our top cutting pad and turn this over, we're going to see that we were able to cut through the top, but we didn't go so far as to create any kind of indentation on the bottom of our cardstock. So this is a great way to make sure that you're not getting anything going on down here, and then you can use this in any way you like on your card or paper craft project. This isn't the only decorative edge that you can create with your Framelits Labels Collection. You can also create this decorative edge as well, and let me show you how to do that one. For this, we're actually going to use the next biggest size die. So this is the 4th largest of the dies that come with your Framelits Labels Collection. And we're going to be using a piece of chocolate chip cardstock, and this piece is 3 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And again, we want to make sure that we have the ridge side facing down. And again, you could use this edge to create the kind of look that we just did, or you can turn your die this way, and again we're coming from behind, sliding that cardstock through and lining up exactly where we want this cut. And on this one you just want to make sure that down here you don't get caught inside the confines here. If you lift that up a little bit, you've got a little bit more wiggle room so that you can move this around and figure out exactly where you want your die placed. And then we're going to roll that through the Big Shot. So again, our fully closed multi-purpose platform, our acrylic cutting pad, then placing our die with our cardstock down exactly where you want it, and then finally our top cutting pad. And again, we're going to run this partially through. and then we're going to back out of it. And you'll hear that click. And we've been able to create that really nice curved edge on that piece of cardstock. So there you have it, a great way to use your Framelits Labels Collection dies to create some really beautiful decorative edges for your cardstock and papercraft projects. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Card Play, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon here in the craft room.